You're sitting on an airplane. Everyone is buckled in. The engines are getting louder. The plane starts moving toward the runway. And then something strange happens. The cabin lights suddenly dim, or sometimes they go almost completely dark. Now imagine you're flying for the first time. That moment can feel a little worrying. Why are they turning off the lights right before takeoff? Is the plane trying to save power? Are the pilots doing something with the engines, or is something wrong? Because let's be honest, an airplane is probably the last place where you'd want the lights to go out. But here's the surprising truth. The lights aren't being dimmed for the airplane, they're being dimmed for you. And it all comes down to one thing: safety. Let's break it down. Takeoff and landing are the two most critical parts of a flight. Statistically, if something unexpected is going to happen during a flight, it's most likely to happen during these phases. That's why airlines prepare passengers and crew carefully before takeoff. Seats upright, seat belts fastened, tray tables locked, and yes, cabin lights adjusted. But why? Think about what happens when you walk from a bright room into a dark one. For a few seconds, it's hard to see. Your eyes need time to adjust. This process is called dark adaptation. The human eye doesn't instantly switch between bright and dark environments. It needs time, sometimes several minutes. Now imagine an emergency happens during takeoff at night. Passengers may need to leave the aircraft quickly. If the cabin is brightly lit and suddenly loses power, people's eyes would struggle to adjust to the darkness outside. That delay could make evacuation harder. So airlines do something clever. They dim the cabin lights before takeoff. This allows passengers' eyes to begin adapting to darker conditions in advance. That way, if an emergency evacuation becomes necessary, people can see outside more quickly. And in an emergency, even a few seconds can matter. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The dimmed lights aren't the only thing airlines do to help your eyes. There's another instruction flight attendants often give before takeoff that most people never think about, and it's connected to exactly the same safety reason. There's another instruction flight attendants often give before takeoff that most people never think about. Please make sure your window shades are open. Most passengers assume that's just airline policy, but it's actually connected to the same safety idea. If an emergency happens, the crew needs to quickly see what's outside the aircraft. Is there fire? Smoke? Debris? Is one side of the plane safer than the other? Open window shades help both passengers and crew understand the situation immediately, and since the cabin lights are dimmed, your eyes are already better prepared to see outside. Pretty clever, right? Now here's something fascinating. Your eyes contain special cells called rods. These cells help you see in low light, but they need time to become fully active. When you're in a bright environment, these cells aren't doing much work. When the lights dim, they slowly become more sensitive. That's why, after sitting in a dark room for several minutes, you can suddenly see things that seemed invisible before. Airlines are essentially giving your eyes a head start. They're helping those low-light vision systems wake up before they're needed. Now here's a common myth. Some people think the lights are dimmed to save electricity. That sounds reasonable, but compared to the enormous amount of power required to operate an airplane, cabin lights use very little. The airline isn't trying to save energy. The purpose is safety, pure and simple. And it doesn't only happen during takeoff. You'll often notice the lights dim again during landing. That's because landing is another critical phase of flight. The same safety logic applies. If passengers ever need to leave the aircraft quickly, their eyes will already be adjusted. Now think about this. Every part of an airplane cabin has been carefully designed: the seat belts, the safety cards, the exit signs. Even the lighting, things that seem ordinary often have a hidden reason behind them, and the dimmed lights are a perfect example. What looks like a small, unimportant change is actually part of a carefully planned safety system, one designed to help people react faster if something unexpected ever happens. So, the next time you're sitting on an airplane and the cabin lights suddenly dim before takeoff, You'll know they're not turning the lights off because something is wrong. They're helping your eyes prepare for the outside world. Just in case, common thing, surprising history. And now you know why airplane lights go out during takeoff.